Hello everyone, my name is Nancy Rodriguez and this is my midterm project for my research methods class on world cancer analysis from 1990 to 2016. I wanted to do this research project on cancer because in the past 3 months, unfortunately, 4 people that I know have either died from cancer or have been diagnosed with cancer. And I wanted to know more about what countries were more prone to cancer as well as how each type of cancer ranks and if age had anything to do with it. According to the World Health Organization, cancer is the leading cause of death worldwide. My main research question is which countries have the highest cancer rates? And then with that comes other questions along my research. What are the most common cancers in the world? Where does the United States rank? And what cancers have the highest death rates? Here's a bar graph that I was able to create using the data that I found on Data World. This is the highest ranking countries with cancer as of 2016. Here we see Australia is the highest with 48.09%, United States, and then New Zealand. Here's another bar graph, but this one shows the lowest ranking countries with cancer 2016. So here if we look towards the bottom, we'll see the lowest ranking countries are Oman, Gambia, and Niger. Here I created a map using the information from the data. And if we look to the right up here, it gives you kind of like the rankings, the dark green being the highest range and the burgundy being the lowest. The highest number was 48.09%, and that was Australia. And here it is. Anything with the dark green means it's higher in the cancer rate rankings. United States 45.11, and then here we have a lighter color green, that's Canada. So if we look at the grid, it's a little bit below but still on the higher ranking, and then the burgundies are the lower. I wanted to show you what I did to create the Tableau visualizations. So here I went to Makeover Mondays for my data from Data World. I went to 2018. I scrolled down and here's the data that I used. I then downloaded it. I downloaded that information from Data World. I then opened Tableau. I go to File and Open, and then I go to look for my file. Once I find the file, I click on it and I press open. It then opens in Tableau. I then go to sheet 1 and it brings me here. And now comes the fun part where I pick up and drop the fields that I want. I'm going to take prevalence and place it into columns. I'm going to take entity and place it into rows. Now I have all the countries here, but I want to sort it from highest to lowest. So I'm going to press the sort button here. And next I'm going to take prevalence and place it into label because I want to know what the amounts were for each country. And here we get it. Once we press that, we see it here. The next thing I will have to do is sort this information because, filter this information. Because what happened with the data that I have, some data does not belong here, like North America. I'm looking for countries. That's not part of, just United States. It's North America. So that North America includes America and Canada. So it shouldn't be here. This high SDI shouldn't be here. This shouldn't be here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take entity. I'm going to place it into filters. And then I'm going to uncheck anything that I do not want shown on here. And just like world, because it gives the data had the whole world included in there. So there's certain things that I do not want. And I'm just going to click on the ones. And I'm not going to do all of them because there were quite a few. So I'm just going to do that in North America so you can see what happens when I do this. North America, where are you? And it's coming over here. I'm just going to do these couple, okay, and I'm going to hit OK. And now you see it remove those fields. Now we have Australia and United States. I didn't remove the high SDI because this is just so I can show you, but later on in my original, I removed it out of here. So from all those visualizations that we created, we can concur that the highest ranking is Australia, then United States, and then New Zealand. And United States came in second place with 45.11%, which is pretty high in the rankings. And then the lowest rankings was Oman, Gambia, and Niger. Here's a line graph visualization that I created showing the world share of population with cancer by type in percentage form. Here we have breast cancer, prostate cancer, and colon and rectum, all of which, if we look and analyze, we see has increased through the years from 1990 to 2016. However, this one right here, which is cervical cancer, actually decreased, which is a good thing. So, but these two, also, this is right here, this is stomach cancer, seems to have decreased, but bladder cancer seems to have increased. And the rest of the cancers, some you see have increased, but kind of not much, steady, unlike the ones above, which have increased a lot. So from analyzing the information, the percentage of the population with the first types of cancer, which were the highest, breast, colon, and rectum, and prostate cancer, all seem to have increased. However, cervical cancer decreased from 1990 to 2016. Here's another line graph that I created, but this one shows the number of people with cancer in each country. So if we look here, look at China is the highest one, and they started in 1990 with about 2.5 million people, and now in 2016 they have about 8 million people, 8.5 million people. So that's a big increase there. And then United States started with 4 million and is around 7 million. So that's almost double for United States, and China has increased like a lot. So, and then Japan follows behind, but way behind, in the rankings, and then India and Russia. So the countries with the highest number of people with cancer is first place China, then United States, then Japan, then India, then Germany, Russia, and Italy. Here we have the world number of people with cancer by the cancer type. Breast cancer is leading with 652 million. And colon and rectum cancers follows, and then prostate, and then cervical cancer. But what's interesting is the difference between the gap between colon and rectum cancer and breast cancer. There's a big gap there. And then there's another big gap between cervical cancer and prostate cancer. The gap between breast cancer and colon and rectum cancer is approximately 174 million. And then the other big gap, which was between prostate cancer and cervical cancer, there was approximately 213 million. Here we see this bar graph showing the world number of people with cancer by age. And by looking at this, we can tell that the highest ranking is the 50 to 69-year-olds. Then the second is 70-plus-year-olds. And then there is a big gap between these and the 15 to 49-year-olds. And as we can see, the younger people do not have as much cancer as the older people. So by using that graph, what is the total number of people with cancer by age? We can see that the highest age group is 50 to 69, and then followed by the 70-year-olds. The lowest rankings are the younger people. The annual world death from cancer type, the top rank is colon and rectum cancer, coming in at 72.6 million, followed by liver cancer and breast cancer. This is the world cancer death by rates by type per 100,000 individuals. Here we see colon and rectum have kind of decreased. Then this one here decreased a lot, which is stomach cancer. Prostate cancer rose, And here's all the other data on this line graph. So the annual number of deaths that come from cancer comes from number 1, colon and rectum, number 2, prostate, 3, stomach, 4, breast, 5, liver. Here are my last 2 visualizations, which are bar graphs for the United States women and men, and the cancer death rates for both. For women, breast cancer is the top, and for men, it's the lung. But if we see for the men, the colon and rectum is nearly half the amount of the lung. So the highest, what are the death rates for women and men in the United States due to cancer? The highest for women is breast cancer, followed by colon and rectum, and then lung. And then for men, the highest rate was lung cancer, then colon and rectum, and then followed by prostate. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.